This video is brought to you by me. For $1 a month, you can support the channel directly and help me keep doing what I love. Thanks for watching and supporting. Initially, I was going to roll Road Rage into the Crazy Taxi Trilogy review, but after putting it up to a Twitter vote, it seemed like a better idea to give it a video of its own. At the same time, it's important to relate Road Rage to Crazy Taxi because it directly stole the roadmap from under Crazy Taxi's feet. No pun intended. In fact, it's considered so derivative of the arcade game that came before it that its review scores reflected it in a seriously negative way. However, poor review scores were the last of Fox Interactive's worries, considering Sega took them to court over how blatant of a copy it was of Crazy Taxi, right down to the indicator above the taxi that tells the player the direction of their destination. Sega was so proud of that arrow that they patented it, meaning Road Rage infringed on it. I wish there was more info about that lawsuit, but unfortunately for me it was settled out of court for an undisclosed amount. But now enough time has passed that I want to take a look at this game for what it does differently from its source material. Spoiler, not much. It is so important to talk about Crazy Taxi when talking Road Rage because, look at it. But there are some very clear differences between the gameplay of the two that alters the way you play in Road Rage a considerable amount. In Road Rage, there is no shifting from drive to reverse, meaning all of the high-level play tactics that encourage you to get better are all gone. There's an accelerate button, a reverse button, and a handbrake button. This makes the game way easier to jump into for new players because you don't have to worry about drifting or dashing. That's not inherently bad in itself, but the way you earn money makes it much worse than it could have been. Instead of getting paid at your destination and earning cash as you catch air and dodge traffic, Road Rage's cash counter increases as long as you have someone in your car, and even if you fail to arrive at the destination before the timer hits 0, you get to keep all the money, which is very confusing from a gameplay perspective. That also means that jumps and near misses with traffic don't mean much at all, which removes a lot of the fun from the game. And lastly, the passengers are all marked the same, meaning there's no strategy when it comes to choosing which passengers to pick up. Since they all pay the same, just go to the nearest one and go without any indication of how far the destination is before. And some of these destinations are literally across the street from where they are standing, which I'm not going to say is immersion breaking, but like you couldn't just cross the street instead of telling me the 4 seconds you gave me to reverse 10 feet means that no matter what I get a slow rating. So with all this simplified gameplay, is there a Road Rage equivalent to Crazy Box? Sort of. There is a mission mode that frankly isn't very interesting at all. All but 2 of the missions involve running down a select set of items like stacks of logs or trash cans. It's fun enough at first until you realize 4 missions into the mode, that's all there is. Completing it, however, does reward you with Homer's iconic custom car from the show, which brings me to the one thing this game has over Crazy Taxi: The Simpsons. This game brings a wholly Simpsons flair to Crazy Taxi, including an overarching story that explains why so many iconic characters have all of a sudden turned their sedans and hovercrafts into Uber rides. Mr. Burns has decided to purchase all of the public transit buses and convert them to nuclear-powered rods on wheels, sending fear through the general public. In order to raise the money to buy the transit back from Burns, the town sets out to raise the money by providing a competing taxi service. So instead of taking home the money, it all goes to a collective counter when you finish your shift, and as you hit different milestones, you unlock more characters and neighborhoods to drive in. This is a Simpsons game through and through, which means gameplay aside, Road Rage does an excellent job of bringing The Simpsons to home console. The town is broken into 6 different districts you can drive in and unlock. They range from the Simpsons' home district of Evergreen Terrace to the iconic power plant. Each of these districts are jam-packed with classic references to the show, like everyone's obsession with touring the box factory or dodging the Springfield Dam to bring the kids to Camp Krusty. Not to mention that the true voice actors of the cast reprise their roles to add dialogue between the drivers and passengers, which adds a lot of funny moments. Some of the characters even recognize each other, meaning they actually do have tiny conversations with each other when the passenger gets in the car.
Dirtbag.
Millhouse? You're one weird-looking kid, you know that?
Whoa. Sorry, Mr. Simpson.
Of course, how much you care about the love put into making Springfield come to life in this ripoff game will likely vary person to person. But if you don't like The Simpsons, why are you watching this? Go put on a punk rock t-shirt, paint your nails black, put on some eyeliner, and go play Crazy Taxi like the Lord intended. To me, that's really where this game lives and dies. It only appeals to Simpsons fans and doesn't really provide a good enough gaming experience to keep you coming back once you've driven through the districts and heard the dialogue a couple of times. If Crazy Taxi didn't exist, maybe this would be a different video. But if it didn't exist, we probably wouldn't have this game in the first place. So if its success relies on a better, more focused game with better gameplay, it loses from the start. It's always going to live in the shadow of the game it tried to steal from, no matter how much personality it tried to inject in the formula. And that's the story of Road Rage. Fox got caught copying Sega's homework and got taken to court for it. Thanks for watching this very brief video on The Simpsons Road Rage, a game that really isn't unique enough to say much about. Did you play Road Rage? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like on it, and lastly, if you want to see more videos, hit subscribe and the bell to make sure you never miss a video. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can go to the Patreon link below and pledge to the channel for as low as $1. With that, you can get early access to my videos as well as exclusive content you can't get anywhere else. I'd like to take a moment and thank my higher tier patrons, Andrew Elmore, Andrew Lang, Just Jessica, and 8-Bit Jesus. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.